Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm testing out the Lottie London Selfie Ready Matte Foundation and the Got It Covered Concealer. I got the foundation in the shade Ivory and the concealer in the shade Porcelain. There wasn't much of a shade range in these products, so I do think this is going to be a little bit too dark for me, but this is a lighter shade they did in this foundation. The concealer says it's a high coverage concealer and the foundation is matte foundation. It says water-based foundation enriched with vitamin C. I'm just going to pop it on now and see how I get on. Just giving it a shake. It is in a bottle like this, so kind of a squeezy applicator on it. Just going to put a bit on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to go with my Spectrum B01 brush. It is quite lightweight, but I guess it's because it's a water-based foundation, but it is a bit easier to spread on the face. It just might mean slightly less coverage. It's quite a nice coverage and finish to it. It doesn't feel necessarily too tacky or anything. I know I've literally just put it on and it is quite a thin formula as well. But otherwise it does have a nice look. It's not too cakey or patchy in places, or too not enough coverage because it is a lighter foundation. I am just going to go in with a second lot though, just to kind of build it up slightly. It does blend in quite nicely and it's kind of doesn't really look like there's anything on your face. I do see, not so much here, but in the camera I do see it has caught on the moustache area a little bit there, but it does happen in a lot of foundation with me anyway. And it is slightly slippery on my nose or in this sort of area here, but I do get that with a lot of foundations. I think it's just my skin type. So that's the only kind of thing I would say. Maybe this is nice for dry but not to dry skin, because where it is a water-based one, but it doesn't feel slippery on. It just looks slightly like it's just in places, but I've just kind of buffed it in a bit and it has then kind of resolved that issue. Overall it is quite a nice foundation. It's a nice finish and a nice formula, and it's also not too dark for my skin, which I thought it was going to be. You can see kind of the undertones maybe slightly different, but actually in this lighting it's not too bad. It just would have been nice if they did a few more shades, because then I think it would match a bit better, especially once you start putting more makeup on top of it. If it's quite an orangey foundation anyway, once you start putting more bronzer and stuff on top of it, then you can tell you've got makeup on. But it is nice. It doesn't necessarily look like I've got anything on my face. However, it doesn't say that it has got an SPF in it, so if you wanted to wear it for the summer, be sure to kind of put a bit of an SPF underneath it or something. I wouldn't say it was too matte. It's more like a semi-matte, and it has got a little bit of sheen or glow to it, and because it is water-based and it's quite a thin formula, I think that's where you get that flexibility. It's not too cakey or anything on your face, so it is really nice. I do like it. Onto the concealer next. It's on a sponge applicator there on the end of it. It's a little bit messy because I did already swatch it, but let's just put a bit of this, just squeeze it, and then just gonna go, and then just blending it out with my brush again. That also is blended out really nicely on top of the foundation. It is slightly thicker and almost kind of tacky, sticky as well, but I guess you want that in a concealer because you want it to be a high coverage, possibly, depending on what concealer you like. I do feel like I need to set it now though underneath my eyes, because I can feel it sticking together a bit. Okay, so I've just powdered and this is the finished look. I do like it. It has kind of gone quite matte now I put the powder on top, but I do kind of think it is oxidizing slightly. It's looking like it's darker now, so especially once I put the powder on. But otherwise it doesn't look bad. It looks quite nice. It looks quite matte and smooth. It doesn't feel tacky or anything. It doesn't necessarily feel like it's going to move around my face. Obviously we'll wait and see. The time is 12:30 and I'm going to leave this on for a few hours. I'm going to do the rest of my makeup and then I'll come back later to show you how we're getting on with it, whether it has kind of moved around my face much. But yeah, I like the finish of it at the moment. It just depends whether it's got any like staying power or whether it's gonna go like oily and slippery really quickly because it's supposed to be a matte one, whether it actually has that capability to keep things matte. So this is a close-up of the finished look. It's looking quite matte and good coverage and everything. I do like the finish on this foundation. It's just whether it will stand up towards the oily skin and everything. Okay, so it's 7:45 now, so it's been on about 7.5 hours. And as you can see, it has got very oily, especially around my nose here and sort of like this area. It does feel kind of, it feels very oily too because it is. It doesn't look that bad now, it's just quite oily and then in my pores kind of a bit. And just sort of like settling there, or like, I don't say separating, it's kind of just settling in my pores a bit and then it's quite oily. And just makes the skin look a bit textured. If you powdered it throughout the day, I guess it might last longer. It is quite a lightweight foundation to be wearing rather than a thicker matte one. It depends on the sort of finish that you want, because if you wanted a thicker foundation that you didn't have to worry about powdering much during the day, or if you were going to go out and do a lot of things and you were going to get hot and sweaty and oily from, then maybe you probably want a different foundation. But for the price of it, and also the fact that it was so easy to put on and it's quite lightweight and was just nice and refreshing to put on, I'd say it is a good foundation. If you probably have slightly drier skin, it might be a better one to go for because it wasn't completely matte, it was almost like a semi-matte. So it might be a better one for you to go for. If you want a matte finish foundation, but you have dry skin, this might be a better foundation for you to go for compared to someone with oily skin. But otherwise, the finish was really nice when I first put it on. It did oxidize slightly, or it was a slightly different tone to my skin. But otherwise, it has kind of blended in nicely with my makeup. I guess it might have just lasted a bit longer if I did powder it throughout the day, because I didn't really top it up at all that much. But as you can see, it's very sort of oily here in these areas. So if you have oily skin, maybe this isn't one for you. But if you want a lightweight foundation that you're not necessarily going to be wearing for that long of a time, or you just want it to be kind of like just as a fresh look, so go for it. So yes, I do like this foundation. It's just I wouldn't necessarily use it if I wanted a really matte look, and if I knew I was going to be wearing it for a long amount of time, I'd definitely make sure to bring powder with me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and it hopefully has helped you to make foundation choices. Let me know if there's any foundations you want me to try next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!